Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We are less than a month away from playoffs. Are Trev's Cubs coming? BBD's Mets? Stimulate me. Wow. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. You cat to be kidding me. Presented by SeatGeek, code Talkin10. Trevor Plouffe with all of your West Coast coverage. Live from Hollywood, California.
Kinda.
While me and BBD are in Magnum Condom Studio East. August 30th. You know when the last day of the regular season is, Trev?
September 28th?
September 28th, bro.
I'm on it.
The numbers. There's not a lot left. This is it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jakey boy. Beavers, love you guys. Here's where my head is.
Okay.
I believe, well, hold on. Tomorrow is the last day for any kind of real roster moves. We're seeing guys in the waiver wire. I'm kind of hoping we get some passing buttons pressed today, and all of a sudden my Twins have Nathan Eovaldi. I've been wishing on that for a long time, but I'm hoping something like that happens. Other than that, yeah, a lot of good ball happened during the week. But Jake, I think this weekend is maybe some of the best baseball that we're ever going to get. We're not going to talk about it too much, but I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't mention some of the series that are going on this weekend too. Labor Day, Braves, Phillies, Dodgers, D-backs. Okay.
I just like when you say remiss. It reminds me when we were in West Virginia at rookie ball. It's like
William
best.
Shakespeare right there.
Rich Hill out there, age 44, Trev. Twirling.
That's crazy.
I saw a good tweet that was I think it was every Red Sox GM of the past 25 years has given Rich Hill a contract or something like that. That's exciting. I got our first Paisan twirling the pill.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? Yeah, my guy Arrighetti, huh?
Of course, he's lefty, right?
Your guy Alcaraz goes down last night.
He's not my guy.
Really? I'm surprised by that.
I mean, I like watching him play.
Yeah.
I kind of like Medvedev. Everyone hates him, but I kind of like him.
Russian.
Taylor Fritz, hot boy.
I'm going U.S. Open tomorrow night. So, yeah, Saturday night, New York, U.S. Open. Little honey deuce on my stinger. Trev, there is a lot of baseball. There's a lot of fun going on. We've got, we know who the top dogs are at this point, and it's always Tommy Pham, and he's one of your waiver wire guys. You need someone to hit some lefties. Hey, Gary, throw it up there. See what happens. Excited to see where some of that lands. I'm also excited. Man, I've been pretty brutal on the Cubbies this year, and they came up on a soft part of their schedule, and they're living up to it. That was kind of my ask. The New York Mets, like you mentioned, some of the big dogs, Phillies, Houston. It's all brought to you by AG1. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting in your body. In a research study, AG1 was shown to double the amount of healthy gut bacteria. AG1's been with us for a while now, that we've all at least dabbled with it. Rosie was big on it. He's battling every day. And we probably need more of it. Blitzball battle coming up. And AG1 is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/baseball. drinkag1.com/baseball. You got to remember that one. There's a link in the description. I believe it's Friday. Let's hear some interleague. Man, we mentioned the Phillies and the Astros tired and wired. How about the Orioles and the Dodgers? Huh? The Orioles come in. They take game 1. Jack Flaherty's first loss since late June. But the Dodgers battle back. Shohei Ohtani, homer and 2 stolen bases in game 2, sure. And then it was kind of everyone else in that third game. Austin Barnes, Chris Taylor, gang, Miggy Rowe, our guy, and Tommy Edman. People forget he's there. Dodgers take 2 out of 3. Colton Cowser, for how much Jackson Merrill love we've given, we should have given Colton Cowser a little bit, but he was doing all the milk stuff, so maybe he got his love. Dodgers take 2 out of 3. The Phillies take 2 out of 3. AL stinks, bro. Phillies, they take the first 2. How about a Bryce Harper walk-off? He's been looking for the good sauce recently. And man, he was still in a bad way, but 2 hits on that game. Aaron Nola, 7 innings, 0 earned runs against Justin Verlander. Castellanos goes deep to left. Grab your loved ones. In that final game, Jordan, 3 homers. And Spencer Arrighetti, 7.2 shutout. Watch out for that guy come Jocktober. The Padres and Cardinals, they end up splitting 4. Padres win the first 2. Hottest team in baseball. They can't be stopped. Let's call up Randy Vasquez and watch him shove. Manny with easy power. Jackson Merrill everywhere. Mason McCoy on the team of shortstops. Playing shortstop and performing. Cardinals come back. They get the final 2. And they do it in cheap mimosa style. A little Andre and a little Sonny D. Andre Palante and Sonny Gray get it done. A little Paul Goldschmidt late. You know I like that. Finish out strong, pal. The Mets. Okay. They take 2 out of 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They take the bread games with good starts from Sean Manaea and David Peterson. In that second game, Corbin, Carroll. Wow. Edwin Diaz, do not put it there. 2-homer game, 5 RBIs. The Snakes pull that out. But everything else is Mets surrounding it. They went up 8-0 in that first game. Basically, everyone got involved. Alvarez, Vientos, Winker, Tyrone Taylor in that 5th inning. And then they take the final game. David Peterson with the big start. And oh my God, Jose Iglesias with the RBI single in the 9th. Mets doing some work on a big West Coast trip. Speaking of doing work, the Chicago Cubs put on an offensive show for the season, and it's highlighted on the last day. Paul Skeens did his thing, 5 innings, 2 earned run. The Cubs ended up with a 14-burger. We've got Livy Dunn tweeting. Here's Cubs who had good series. Amaya, Suzuki, PCA, Paredes, Swanson, Bellinger, Horner, Betancourt, Ian Happ. An offensive juggernaut performance that we'll have to talk about more. As the Brewers took 2 out of 3 from Los Jugador Gigantes. Giants won that first game 5-4. Kind of a talking baseball bowl with Logan Webb and Tobias Myers on the bump. And Matt Chapman goes 3 for 4 with a homer. Hello. But it's Brew Crew the rest of the way. Freddie Peralta with a great 6-strong, 0 earned run start. And Aaron Civale. Might have to revisit that trade. 7 innings clean himself. While Garrett Mitchell goes yard. The original freshman, sophomore year is coming. Yankees play the Nats. Don't think we need to talk about that. A's. They take 2 out of 3 from my Cincinnati Reds. You know I get excited when Osvaldo Bito's on the mound. Does something for my libido. Lawrence Butler. The homers are coming in bunches. And yelling as it happens. Yeah. The Marlins and Rockies played 4. They split. We'll have Kelsey Wingert's full report at the end. You know what, Nats? You gave the Yankees the work. They called up Dylan Cruz. It's an exciting time in the nation's capital. Trev, I know you have the standings.
You know I do, Pop. Excellent reading of the Interleague right there. Or, as we know it nowadays in 2024, is the National League. Because it's Friday and it's Labor Day weekend, of course I start out west, where I will be shirtless with my Top Gun hat on, grilling steaks and probably watching Tom Cruise fly the mission in 2 minutes and 15 seconds tonight to show John Hamm up. I will be doing that. The Los Angeles Dodgers the first team to 80 wins. They're 80-54. They got a 4-game lead now on the Diamondbacks, who, by the way, they play 4 games this weekend. Can't wait for that. Diamondbacks 76-58. The Padres 1 game behind them, 76-60. And the Giants 67-68. Colorado Rockies 50-85. We'll go out east where the Philadelphia Phillies 79-55. They're playing the Atlanta Braves, who they have a 6-game lead on. Atlanta Braves 73-61 after giving my Twins the business. The New York Mets 70-64, National 61-73, and the Marlins 49-85. And then the Central, still the biggest lead in any division. The Milwaukee Brewers atop of that, 77-56, 9.5 games above those Cubbies, who are 68-66. Cardinals mid, 67-67. The Reds 64-70, and the Pirates 62-71. And the wild card, my friend Jake. It's the 2 NOS teams. They still got it. This has not changed, people. Arizona, San Diego, Atlanta is the third wild card. They're holding a 3-game lead on the New York Mets. The Cubbies creeping up at 5 games back. And then I got to mention, I said, if you get to 500, I'll talk about you. The Cardinals 6 games back of that wild card spot. A lot of things could happen in September. But that wild card and that the National League playoff picture has been pretty much set for what, 2-3 weeks? And those are the standings.
Well done, Trev. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Even longer than that.
The NL has, well, it's that time of year, man. San Francisco Giants, 67-68. As much as I like that rotation on paper, it's tough to believe. It's tough to believe. And even like, God, it feels like a couple weeks ago, even the Cincinnati Reds or the Pirates had like slivers of hope. Like maybe something kicks in. It's done. Cardinals and Cubs like literally fighting for their life. The Mets are still very much alive. I'm excited to talk about them later. And yeah, like you said, that playoff picture has actually been kind of locked for a little bit. It's going to be fun. Padres, Diamondbacks. Hopefully, might get BBD schedules on that because that's going to be a Talkin' Baseball must-watch coming up. Trev, I laughed and the Interleague, National League has become a horrible running joke of talking baseball for a little bit now. But it also started off with 2 Interleague, like I'm talking about doing the stimulator later. These 4 teams have been of the biggest stimulations of late. The Houston Astros played the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Baltimore Orioles played the Los Angeles Dodgers. I guess let's start in LA, Trev. You're out there. You're on the streets for this.
Oh yeah.
Jack Flaherty in our cell phones. What'd you see out on the field?
I mean, this is 2 really good teams going at it. And I think that anytime, especially now with the way that the Dodgers starting pitching is kind of looking right now, it's interesting to say the least. They're looking to get some guys back here, obviously. These types of series where there could go either way. The Orioles come out and win game 1, then it's Shohei bobblehead night, and Walker Buehler, how many runs did he get up in that first inning? It was a bunch.
No.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm sorry, I should have this up.
Okay.
Anyways, he has not made it through 5 innings in his last 4 starts. He's got an 8.44 earned run average. You're wondering what you're going to get out of him. Shohei does his thing against Corbin Burns, so they win that game, and yeah, they take the last game as well there. I mean, the Dodgers, for all the injuries that we always talk about with them, they've been able to, again, first one to 80. They're kind of just inevitable. It helps when you have a guy like Shohei kind of like leading the charge and being able to give you that big swing whenever you need it.
Hey, maybe the conversation here, and Dodger fans, maybe this is the classic talking baseball. Why aren't you giving us more love? Talk about Decoy's first pitch more, because we should. That was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
And I hate to be dumb. Put that on my tombstone. Dude, Decoy rocked that, bro. And then I was like, wait, why is Decoy so well behaved? And I was like, he's Shohei's dog. You think Shohei Ohtani's going to have a misbehaving dog?
What if he was? What if he just like
I mean, it would have been electric, but there was never a chance. Dude, that dog is on the field in front of like, okay, let's be real. The crowd's still packing in. It's, 6:55 on the West Coast or whatever. So let's say there's 25K. It's a dog. He stood on the mound. Like, that dog acted a lot better than
and then
I
just
would
like
have.
as soon as they said yes, I guess they taught him for 3 weeks. That's what they said. It took him 3 weeks to learn how to do
Okay.
that. So I'm sure they had, a Hollywood dog trainer come and train him. But yes, he did a phenomenal job. Decoy, great job. Look at this. Don't show my kids that. They want a dog so bad. I'm like the Grinch with that.
Tired. Ipe, Wired, Decoy. Maybe the conversation here, where I started this a minute ago and got lost, because, Dodgers good. Bobby Miller's out there. Great. Bullpen guys. Kopech, sure. Any concern with the Orioles? They've sneaky been in, I think it's like 50 games now that they've been under 500. Corbin Burns, who I put...
Birds had a really tough month this year in August, like really tough.
Like, I put him as one of the difference makers in the American League. And that's where baseball gets crazy, because I know we're going to talk about Spencer Arrighetti a little bit coming up. And it's like, Decoy's life on the line tomorrow. You want Arrighetti over Corbin Burns. You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting question right there. Decoy's life on the line.
I don't like that game.
I'd
rather do mine.
Corbin
I'd rather
Burns.
do
Sorry,
mine.
Shohei.
I'd rather
don't know.
do mine. I don't like that.
A lot of this has been, the Orioles' little slide. The last 11 games, going into that last one, 3.6 runs per game, 8 for 55 and runners in scoring position that's a 145 average. I mean, so you're going to go through streaks like this. I'm still very high on the
24 and 27 in their last. What quick math tells me that's 51. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I'm obviously with you.
I get that. Like that happens
throughout
the season for everybody.
It's a lot of ball.
Happens throughout the season for everybody. We're just looking at it right now. The Orioles can run off a 19 and freaking 6 a month in September, and it can be completely different. Really, if you like, I just said yesterday, or just not yesterday, the brain's not working today.
Okay.
Like I just said a moment ago, when you go hit 145 with runners in scoring position, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Kind of the name of the game. And then, your best starting pitcher with the 7, those things will turn around. I don't think Corbin Burns is that type of pitcher. He's shown that with his track record. And I also don't think the Orioles are going to hit 145 with runners in scoring position.
Man, also, I guess if people are bored today or this weekend or whatever, Blake Trinan versus Gunnar Henderson, bases loaded, 7th inning. There's at-bats don't feel like that in May. That's getting close to an October at-bat. That was pretty cool, and Trinan gets them. But, and then if he doesn't, if Gunnar puts that in the seats, we're talking about Birds win 2 out of 3. But yeah, you're not out of it until you're out of it.
The last 30 days, the Baltimore Orioles are 23rd in the league in OPS with a 685 OPS. So we got to get some hitting in there.
Just start hitting, boys. Speaking of hitting, hello, Jordan. 3 homers on that last day. Just a reminder who he is. And Spencer Arrighetti, Ben Gamel, welcome to Houston, all-star level play. But before that, it was Phillies baseball. I mentioned the Harper walk-off. Nola tuning up for October. What did you see in the great city of Philadelphia, your city?
Love that at bat. Hader versus Harper. That's always a great matchup. That's a World Series matchup right there. I think Harper had some funny quotes after that. He was like, "Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at rolling the ball over," and that one was through the 3-hole there. So he hit that one a little bit harder. I think that was like 105 off the bat, something like that. Good job by Matt Strahm in that first game, getting a clean 10th there to set up the Harper walk off. And then it was like, Phillies dominated the second game, got out to a early lead and held it, and then the Astros did the same thing. Arrighetti twirling the pill, and Jordan. Don't look at his numbers since June. You don't want to see him. It's 1.1. It's Jordan of old. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is my World Series matchup, Jake. This is my preseason prediction. Um, this was a great series.
And do you still think it's gonna happen?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
Although, like, the National League, I have no idea what's going to happen. I think there's a lot of equally matched teams there. I think if I had to pick like a favorite right now in the AL, we talked about this. I think I'm going Houston.
I think if this was Debate Club, which in a way it is, and I had first pick of which AL team to debate for to like win, I'm guessing that's how debates work. I have no idea. Houston's the easy pick. Last 7 years.
Pretty easy.
Like we were, Trev, okay, people like this because they like the sad side of Yankee fandom. I'm talking Yanks. We're right. The Yankees are awful against lefties. Houston, now Framber, Kikuchi, hater. And it was like, so wait. If the Yankees want to do this, they probably need to duck Houston. And literally no team has been able to duck Houston.
No.
For 7 years. Good job.
Shout out my guy
Phillies.
Brandon Marsh. Because I was calling for Lou Bob to come there and kind of like take over. And he's actually had a pretty dang good season. Baseball Reference has him at a 3.1 WAR heading into September. Like that's no small feat right there.
Small feat.
Got 14 homers, 106 OPS plus. So I know he does it with the glove. Doing with the bat as well. 15 stolen bases. All right. And sneaky handsome. I always forget that. That beard takes it away.
I mean, he's Philly hot, and this has been a topic on the show for a while. The plays Mauricio Dubon makes in the field are just silly at this point, and it feels like he could do it at any position. Dude, where Dusty was right, Chas McCormick, option to the minors.
Yeah.
Yo. That's tough, and they've got a fun one this weekend. Royals, Astros, buckle up.
Yeah, and Astros have not been playing great as of late. I'm not going to hold that, against them because I do believe, again, it's just part of the baseball season, part of 162. But after they lost Monday, that was they've been very streaky. They won 11 of 12 from August 6th to the 19th, and then how many did they lose in a row there? Right now.
Not sure.
They've been all over the place, but I still I'm on the Houston Astros.
Yeah. Yeah. And somehow the team that has a full rotation on the IL, they now have a 6-man. Framber, Kikuchi, Blanco, Verlander, Arrighetti, Hunter Brown.
Yes.
And 3 of those guys are going to kick to the bullpen and be weapons. And Hector Neris is back there. All right. I don't want to say that ruined my Friday, but congrats to the Phillies taking 2 out of 3.
Yeah, the Astros lost 7 of 9 going after that last game, and then they had that long win streak. And I know we're not there yet, but Seattle starting to creep up a little bit.
Please don't.
I'm telling you.
I'm just too hurt.
Randy's hitting some Ompo homers, getting a little scary. Go Phillies, go.
I'm just too hurt. I can't do that. Taijuan Walker to the bullpen.
Yeah, it's been tough.
It's been tough
to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the next parts of that story. And hey, I know it got mentioned briefly, but Strom, Kerkering, Hoffman, Estevez. I know Hoffman and Estevez haven't been as good recently necessarily, but I don't know. It's cool. Those 2 first series with 2 AL favorites and NL favorites. A lot of high-level baseball.
Hello, baseball. Johan Rojas had a nice catch there in that Strom inning, too, coming in on a line drive.
Your guy.
My guy.
Your guy. Trev, 4-game split always stings. And it's the Padres who, if we recorded after those first 2 games, it would have been what the Padres story has been and how good they have been. The second best record since the All-Star break, 26-11. There's Jackson Merrill. They lose the final 2. So I don't know I guess if you saw something with our Talking Baseball pitching coach Gibby or anything else from this series, but 4-game split always tough.
He did hit me up after this. I had mentioned to Katie Wu that he's a bad fantasy football player, and she must have relayed that message. So he was mad that I said that. He's actually a good fantasy football player, as you could imagine. I mean, he
clinical.
Yeah, he's in there. He's got his tiers and all those things. I think the Cardinals are kind of, we almost wrote them off. Where are they sitting again right now? I keep doing this. I keep switching my pages. I have the standings up right now.
What's going on?
6 games out. 6 games out. All the teams that I gave up on in August, I want to give them a chance in September to just run it. I think the Cubs, we'll talk about them in a little bit. Like their schedule is like, okay, like maybe we shouldn't have wrote them off. 6 games isn't insurmountable. I don't think you do have to hop a couple teams to get there. I don't know. This was a fun series because you got the usual, cast there in San Diego kind of doing their thing. I mean, that first game, they just jumped out to a big lead, by the 5th inning, leading by 7-2, because Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill and Xander Bogaerts are doing their thing. You mentioned Vasquez up for Waldron. I watched him pitch against the Twins, and I was talking about how he's just can be such a nightmare, but he was getting absolutely shelled. So he had to get sent down. What else we got here? There wasn't a moment where the Padres were threatening there. They got a runner on second base. Profar bunts him over.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 guys strike out. And I believe that was when Arenado had the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th as well.
That was a bit of a topic because I think Profar had tried to get a bunt down a week ago or 2 weeks ago or something like that, and he didn't get it down. And
it was against my Twins.
And people weren't happy about that, and then he does get it down, and they don't get the runs in. So I don't know. Is there an answer, or is it the same we should bunt, we shouldn't bunt conversation that baseball has?
I think that in that situation, the numbers will tell you not to bunt. But I think I'm with the point of, well, who's on the mound? How does the guy feel at the plate against the guy? But essentially giving up an out there is frowned upon by the data.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. But, again, it's sometimes you have to have a little bit of feel in the game. Didn't work out that time. I understand. So that's one that the people can point to and say, never bunt. And then I say, okay. I don't really love it in that situation, especially because Profar's, had such a good year. But, I still like the bunt every once in a while, depending on the personnel and the situation, Jake. You know that.
I know you know that, and I know that. And I think the conversation has entered such a dumb spot where we're literally playing the result, which, I don't know, in a way that's how it's supposed to be, but I don't know. If you don't bunt and you don't score, it feels bad. If you bunt and you don't score, it feels bad. So I don't know. Maybe the nerds are right, and I need to get in the numbers. But I think it's
the numbers aren't. It's not the nerds aren't. They're just reading the numbers,
right?
Bieber. So this is the guy I told you that I'm happy to share with you, another guy that's your doppelganger. Although he's a little bit, the height isn't really there. But Beavers, can you get up a Luken Baker?
That's so funny, bro.
Homer.
I was just going to say, in a joking way, I was going to say, Trev, and now give us your Luken Baker scouting report. And you were dialed. Not only are you in on the Homer.
I'm telling you right now, if there is a Survivor, like just a fight to the death. Hardest guy to knock out in the league might be Luken Baker.
Wow.
I think he's 6'4",
Oh,
285. He's listed.
oh,
Look at that monster.
you don't see 285 on the player hitter page a lot. Oh no.
Like that's gonna take a lot to knock that guy down. 3-time Team USA guy, like real, in his youth, I think it's like 14, 16, 18. So he's Mr. America. And that's gonna take a few punches to knock that guy down.
Luken Baker.
Luken Baker out of Houston, Texas, I believe. And that he's been the biggest, baddest MFer on his team since he's been 5 years old. Like he was 6'4" at 12. There's no doubt about that.
Luken Baker has ended more fights than he started.
Nobody's gonna pick a fight with Luken Baker,
No.
bro.
Wow. I mean, you see a lot of 6'4s. You don't see a lot of 285s, especially, I was going to say field players. He has been DHing, so I don't,
That boy's been eating Texas barbecue his whole life. Just meat, meat, meat. Now he's in St. Louis.
Yeah, but he went north for college. He went to TCU. So it's good. It's good escaping for a little bit.
Luken Baker, that's a big boy. I mean, seriously, name another guy that you'd think is harder to knock out than that guy. Don't say Tommy Pham.
Don't say harder. Trev, we had two survival teams that are doing really well. The New York Mets.
Great series.
And I have some stuff on them in a little bit. I mean, actually, how about this? Because I have much stuff coming up. That Corbin Carroll grand slam and how good he has been lately, very much a difference maker. His season numbers are starting to get to a good place, and with one more month, they could end up being eerily close to what you'd hope for from Corbin Carroll, which just shows how long and crazy a season is. I think the Mets are more the story. Lindor again and Pete Alonso.
You challenged him.
6-4 playing the Orioles, Padres, and D-backs. I mean, my God. So,
and without this, you got your closer in with two outs in the eighth. Without that, you're talking 7-3 against those teams. I mean, you kind of got to give snaps to the Mets. I was talking with Rosie about that. Even 500. I don't know if they would have signed up for a 500 ball because I think they need to play better than that. But surely, if you went in and asked the Mets, "Hey, will you guys take 6-4 in this 10-game stretch?" They'd say yes.
Yes.
In a heartbeat. They're still looking up at the Braves. Braves been, again, we're going to get to them with my Twins, but they found a little juice there. I hope that they are closer than they are right now at the end of September. I hope they have a chance to go in and I believe Atlanta is the second to last series of the year for them. I hope they're like 2 games out and not 4 or 5 games out. I want them to have a realistic shot to go in and win that series because they've been great, man. Sean Manaea has been awesome. David Peterson has been awesome. Manaea is like, he's turned himself into like almost like a completely different pitcher. He looks great.
Yeah, I was impressed with him, and I was impressed. I don't want to say you were on it first, but like you walked away from seeing the Sean Manaea start, and you were like, dude, that guy, that's not. I don't know. I guess Sean Manaea came up. He had a couple big years with Oakland, and it's we had actually seen like a lot of guys do that. Like Oakland for a little bit was just like every couple years there was a guy that you were like, is he a 1 or a 2? And then it like faded a little bit that we didn't know where we were at with Sean Manaea. And you kind of brought it to the table that like he's looking like a top of the rotation guy right now.
He really is. He's looking like I read somewhere that he had watched Chris Sale and wanted to kind of like emulate the way he throws, and that's kind of what I picked up on when I was there watching him against the Twins, like real crossbody, like backdooring pitches, the slider and the curveball, and then also, commanding the inside part of the play, which is not easy to do. Commanding both sides of the play that come in cross bodies, it tends, if you can't do it correctly, you can leave some balls over the plate and you can get erratic, but he's been able to figure it out. And I mean, that's a difference maker type of arm there for the Mets who are, trying to get back in this thing. He's been looking really good, man. And then obviously Lindor with the big homer, like he's been a stud. It's a great series, man. This is one you'd want to see in the postseason for sure.
Hey, Trev, do you like a guy batting .318 with a .370 on base and an .821 OPS?
I'm trying to guess who that is
Who's
now.
got one of the hottest songs of the summer?
I dapped him up in San Diego. Me and Jose had a nice little talk.
Listed 5'11", thoughts?
I think it's accurate.
It's
when
in
you
the
list yourself
range,
5'11",
right?
I think
Close
it's
enough.
accurate.
I kind of like that from Jose Iglesias.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not 6.
Right. No. Did you see Jerry and Jolly went to a Broadway show last night?
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, I like Broadway too.
We kind of need. I think we need to one up that.
I think the main takeaway is I'm a little jealous.
Very jealous, horribly jealous. Everything's coming up. A little more on them, a little bit. Snakes, you know you're fine. I think one of the last big stories in the NL, because unfortunately the Brewers take 2 out of 3, and it's just like this is what they do.
Wait, we didn't mention. I'm sorry, real quick to go back to Jose Iglesias. The knock, it was off Justin Martinez.
Yeah, 102.
Jesse Winker gets it started. Our guy.
He is
Okay.
loving being a Met. Mets, just make it happen.
Especially when you get a double in the 9th and they pinch run for you and your day is over. You're like,
Oh, that's a
the
good
best,
one.
the best feeling in the world.
I like the late inning walk. I like the big boy who gets the walk. They take off all the gear, touch first base, no problem.
See you later. Oh, they didn't even take the gear off because I'll just take it off.
Oh, you don't need to. That's right.
Take it off in the dugout.
Trev, I think the story is the Chicago Cubs. That if we're gonna give the Mets a little bit of life, if we're gonna talk over 500, the Chicago Cubs sweep the Pirates. They do it in the fashion that I like. Everybody's hitting. A historic 3 games of hitting for the Chicago Cubs. And Talkin Baseball faithful will remember they got swept by the Cleveland Guard Dogs. They were 59-63. Yikes. I've been really down on that franchise. I've mentioned the front office, Cubs offseason poster too much. But they had an 18-game stretch coming up, all against teams under 500. Everyone who, I don't want to say gave up, except the Detroit Tigers. They've been fighting. They've won the past 4 series. I think it's 9-3 in the last 12. And they're doing it in impressive fashion with another Washington and Pittsburgh series coming up that, hey, it was the final time to kick in, and they're kicking in.
5 games back of the wild card. They're not catching the division.
No.
So they gotta play at this level. I mean, I believe right now it's 17 of 25 that they've won. Like they need to keep up that level of winning to kind of have a chance here. I think if you look at them and they're 3 games back by September 10th, 15th.
Well, I think
that's real.
The real test, and I don't know where people stand about the baseball schedule stuff, but I have become more of a believer in it just because it makes sense. Like in football,
at this point of the year, yes, I think it makes sense.
Football, right? Maybe that's a great point, Trev. Look, football season's coming up, and I like that. The NFL has a way of they do it in, I feel like 4-game spurts, and it'll be like, all right, well, this 4 games they're playing the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills,
Yeah.
The next 4 games they're playing the Broncos, whoever else is Panthers, whatever. So I mentioned they played bad teams and they've gone 9-3 in that stretch. They have Washington and Pittsburgh coming up. Pittsburgh, they just put up, 11 runs a game, whatever that more. They have a New York Yankees and Dodgers stretch. 6 games, half home, half road. That, man, if they could even 3-3 that, they come out with Rockies, A's, and Nationals with a week to go in the season.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is a team I've been really tough on, and maybe Cubs fans don't even want to hear this from me right now. There's a chance. There's a chance.
Last 30 days, Chicago Cubs, second in OPS. There's only two teams with an OPS in the 800s over the last 30 days, and it's them and the Arizona Diamondbacks. 34 stolen bases. That's got to lead. I'm assuming that's leading the big leagues at that time. They're fourth. Rays, Nationals, Marlins, Cubs in that span. So your OPS is up. Your OPS S plus is up. I mean, okay. I like it, man. I like a late season run. We need that drama. We just talked about how the NL playoff picture has kind of been set. But there's a couple teams still trying to put a wrench in that. I like that. And
Man.
wouldn't it be something if like the Atlanta Braves didn't make the freaking postseason?
It's hard to believe right now, but when Seiya Suzuki, the catching duo of Amaya and Betancourt, hello. Hello. That's a Baby
I don't
James.
know what that is.
Baby James was at our Talkin' Yanks live event this summer, and they gave him the mic, and he didn't really know what to do, so he just went, hello. And then he liked it. The crowd liked it, so he kept doing it. It was a nice moment.
I do have bad news.
Okay.
I mentioned that I'd be going to the Cubs-Dodgers game.
No.
Turns out I'm working pre and post for the Twins, so Ian Happ's gonna have to wait on his ball.
That's crazy, Trev, because you know who has 3.7 B WAR? You know who's got
Leading the team
812 OPS? Two-time
I've drank
Gold
so
Glove
much
winner?
good wine in the time that I've owed him a bottle of red wine. I've drank just some of the best, the finest reds in the land, and I just haven't been able to get him his bottle.
Hey, Ian Happ, earmuffs. Why didn't you just hit free agency and sign with my Yankees for way too much money? We could be
Chicago.
We could be pimping out that basement, and maybe we still will.
He's so professional.
He's so show. I forgot.
Do you think if he came out with us in the West Village, like, is he gonna get like down and dirty a little bit with us, or is it he's above water too much?
I think you and I have spent a lot of brain energy on this. Does Ian Happ have a grungy Irish bar side to him?
I think he does.
I think so. He's from Pittsburgh, right?
That's a good point.
I think Ian Happ just alphas us, and we need to accept that.
He doesn't give a shit about
He just
us.
constantly alphas us.
He's like, I'll use your channel to put my podcast out. Thank you.
I'm going to text Ian Happ. I was going to text him last night. I'm going to text him this morning. Flex. Sick.
National League's getting meaty, coach.
Yeah, well, that's like, dude, like Dalton listed on the sheet, Oneil Cruz is kicking out to center field. I think.
Good.
I mean, good. I just don't know if it's a convo for right now. You know what I'm saying? It's all like there's less than a month of baseball left to get playoff teams going that I don't.
Can I tell you why it's great?
Please.
He wasn't spectacular at shortstop. Metrics weren't into it too much. Then all of a sudden you get this big-bodied, fast as hell guy running balls down center field. It's exactly what the game of baseball needs. I'm all about it. I think it's gonna be great.
He reached out to Fernando. Great. And yeah, I mean, this is where I'm at. Like, Brewers, be mad that you guys are so good that I don't know if I need to talk about it. And then Nationals, I will give snaps. I don't want to come off as obnoxious Yankee fan. But pretty cool. Like
too fucking late.
Yeah. I know. The stadium had awesome juice in it. They called up Dylan Cruz, so we were excited for that. Like, dude, Nats 2025. Print me up some shirts. I'm all in. I don't care what the over under is. I'm in.
I tried to say that they're a fun team to watch. They're gonna have some fun series. They got some fun players. I told you that. I want to go back to Giants Brewers.
Please.
Quick. Mikey Shremsky, big homer in that first game. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Giants bullpen later in the show. I thought the pitching matchups were awesome here, like Logan Webb versus Tobias Myers, although Logan Webb gave up two bombs. Bad location. Great pitcher, doesn't give up a lot of home runs. Churio took him only where like a young T. Plouffe goes in that stadium. And then also Willie Adames leaned back on one. But they win that game. And then, yeah, Brew Crew kind of does their thing. Blake Perkins out there robbing home runs. Aaron Civale, like what? The Aaron's shutting out your team. Ashby and Aaron Civale, okay. Like the Brewers are just a different team, man. Like, are they kind of like, are they sneaky, the team that if you see them matched up, you just don't know what to think, but you're scared of them, right? Like, would you rather face them or the Phillies? I don't know. I talk a big game about the Phillies, and we don't talk that big a game about the Brewers. All we ever say is like, hey, man, like, they're a fast, athletic team, can score in different ways. That, like the bullpen's excellent. What's up with the starting pitching? Like, we just kind of like have questions about them. But here they are, just doing the damn thing.
Trev, if playoff history doesn't matter, then it turns into a little bit of like, what are we doing? And the Brewers, the past 2 years, they haven't done.
Yeah.
1 year they didn't go to the postseason, and last year they lost the wild card in 2 games.
Hitting was tough last year, if I remember, for them in the playoffs.
I mean, it was kind of the rise of that Diamondbacks bullpen. Like, we kind of didn't know what we were getting from them. The D-backs, if I remember, it was scramble drill. I think Fott started the first game, and everyone was like, what? You're starting Brandon Fott in a playoff game? He goes on to have an awesome postseason. And then maybe
Jackson Trio's the difference maker for the Brewers. How about that?
He could be, and it's the dumb, beautiful part of baseball that the Brewers could be this year's October darling, and we're trying to dig through and find out who will make it that. Trev, it's that time of year that I think it's time to jump to some American League baseball.
Okay.
And the American League's just brought to you by T-Mobile, and the people know this.
Do the jingle.
Do. Swing into the future and elevate your game day experience. Folks, when you're out and about, the best way to follow your favorite MLB team is with T-Mobile. Whether you're watching the game from the couch or you're on the road this summer, maybe one more summer roadie, been thinking about it. Plus, T-Mobile customers get the hookup with Magenta status. You get discounts on select MLB games, save on select hotels, rental cars, get free in-flight Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, you got it. Swing into the future with T-Mobile. Elevate your game day experience. Learn more about T-Mobile.com/MLB and see how to get Magenta status at T-Mobile.com/benefits. There's a link in the description. Only look into T-Mobile if you have a cell phone. That's it. I try to be fair to the people. That's all I am. Oh. Hello, American League. Hello, first place Kansas City Royals. What? As they took the first 3 games from the Cleveland Guard Dogs. And what do I get? A text from Benny Pasquantino. Because we all took the under on the Royals this year. And players like to have a little piss and vinegar. And good on Benny.
They lost 100 games last year, didn't they? Come on.
Although he leaves that last game with an injury, I want to check on him. But, man, it was the Royals were on full display. Lucas Erceg, talk about trade deadline wins and losses. This MFing guy looks like he's going to be the Royals closer for the next 5 years or so. MJ Melendez making a great play on John Kensey, Noel. You know Bobby Witt Jr. was everywhere. And you guys know Trevor Plouffe tried to tell you about Bobby Witt Jr. early. He was looking to dig up receipts this morning. Paul DeYoung has been awesome for the Kansas City Royals. We love that for him. The Guard Dogs do come back on that last day and salvage the set. The Naylor brothers, that's what they used to call the Plouffes in parts of L.A., as they salvage that last game. Blue Jays Sox 5-gamer. I couldn't believe this was on the sheet. It's just a reminder how quickly time moves. That this was the series where we had one player play for 2 teams. Danny Jansen. Could not believe that was this week. Blue Jays took 3 out of 5. I don't know. I kind of pass. I'm sorry, everyone. Bowden Francis breakout may be happening. That's interesting. Brian Bayo breakout may be happening. And, Jaron Duran's put us all in a tough spot because he continues to ball out. But I don't know. No one speaks passionately about it anymore. Anyways, 5-game set. Blue Jays, congrats. The Atlanta Braves, Trev, I'm excited to hear you talk about this one. The Atlanta Braves, they sweep the Minnesota Twins. Your guy, Max Fried, starts it up. Matt Olson, I felt good about my last award. I was like, Matt Olson's playing. Don't be surprised if he gets a little bit of juice. He brought a lot of bit of juice. I think he had an RBI in every game this series, including 3 for 5, a homer, and 5 RBI in the first one. Braves take that second game in 10 innings. Spencer Schwellenbach. And then it's no fiesta for David Festa and the boys as Chris Sale, 6 innings, 1 earned run. Braves sweep the Twins. Can't wait to get Trevor Plouffe analysis on it. Dan Wilson's Mariners. Are they? They take 2 out of 3 from the Rays. Bryce Miller. Wow, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. Randy Arozarena shows up in this series, homers in the Bread games. And Victor Robles, man, who they signed, and then they extended him because he's been balling for them. Could be a great move, could be a weird Mariners move next year. Let's check in. Rays won with Jeffrey Springs on the mound. Yandy Diaz and Jose Siri go yard. Detroit Tigers take 2 out of 3 from the Halos. They won the first 2 games. They might have been on that hot to trot list if they didn't lose this last game. But Jack Kochawanich? Don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm going to learn, especially if you keep doing 6-inning shut piece. Spencer Torkelson is back and hitting. We love that.
Yes, fastballs.
And Kerry Carpenter, are you familiar? You're familiar. 2 for 4 with a homer in that first game. RBI in the second. And the Texas Rangers, they are sweeping the Chicago White Sox. They had their first game pushed back, and they had the highlight of the weekend. Andrew Vaughn, walk-off homer off of Andrew Chafin. Oh, no. Travis Jankowski with the robbery. Texas, hey, there's Nathan Eovaldi, 7 shut piece. Trev somehow thinks he's going to become a Twin. That will not happen. That's what happened in the American League. Standings.
Travis Jankowski's on waivers. Can you put just Eovaldi check mark as well? That's all I'm asking.
I think those are very different levels of check marks.
So we started out west in the National League. I'm going to start out east in the American League. Vinny Pasquantino, your team lost 106 freaking games last year. We talked about you. Whatever. In the East, the Yankees, 1.5 games up on the Orioles. They are 78-56. The Orioles, 77-58. Boston Red Sox, 4 games over 500, 69, nice, and 65. Those Rays, we're going to lose that bet, Jake. They're 66-67. Toronto Blue Jays, 66-70. We'll go to the Central, where the Guardians, yes, they lost the lead for 1 day. They are 76-58, a game and a half up on the Kansas City Royals, who are 75-60, 3.5 games up on the Twins, who are 72-61. And then the Tigers, back over 500, as you mentioned. I believe it's 12 of 15 they've won, 68-67. And then the White Sox, Jake, 31-104. Holy. Out west, Houston still has the lead, but it's not as big as it has been. Jake's heard that a lot in his life. 72-62 for them. They're 4 games up on the Mariners, 68-66. And then the Rangers, you're 63-71. Give me your good players, please. Oakland, 58-76, and the Angels, 55-79. In the wild card, Jake, it's the 2 AL Central teams. Kansas City holding the top spot. Baltimore holding the top spot. Then it's Kansas City, and then it's the Twins. They have the 3 wild card spots. Boston threatening there, 3.5 games back. The Mariners, man, if they come back and make the playoffs again, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Dan Wilson.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
Why not?
4.5 games back for them. Tigers, 5 games back. Rays, can't mention you because you're under 500. Those are the standings in the American League.
I mean, I know, amazing. No one does the standings like you.
No one does. Can't read numbers like I read numbers.
Tried, barfed on himself, basically. I know this isn't exactly our lane, and it wouldn't be a cool bet or anything, but if the Mariners win the West over Houston, like, I would bet my first tattoo. Like, I would. But I don't think... Like,
a wild card.
Like, I wouldn't bet, like, a Mariners tattoo, so I would just, like, get a tattoo I want, which just seems like maybe Jake get a tattoo, so you've done it. It's Dan Wilson's team. They can't lose.
You'll get a Mariners tattoo?
No, that's the problem. That would be, if I was fake cool, that's what I would do.
Get a big dumper tattoo on your butt.
Oh, God.
Double entendre.
I've obviously debated getting a butt tattoo for a long time, but
You're a butt tattoo guy.
My God, would my butt be out way too much? Like, that's already an issue.
It's like the guys with the thigh tattoos. They have to wear short shorts now. It's
yeah.
Like, I got a thigh tattoo. Got it. I used to do that. I used to be one of those people. I got my chest tattoo. I regret it immensely. I wish I never got any tattoos.
Wow. Dark.
I know. I was young, and to show it off. And this actually worked because I was like trying to get chicks back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Little V-neck. Remember V-necks?
Oh, yeah. That was a big V-neck. This collarbone, bro? You kidding me?
See, right? Hey, this is exactly what happened. You see this little peak of this little...
Oh, you're just leaking. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your tattoo
what
say?
What is that?
Oh, let me show you.
Hey, buddy, what's that tattoo?
Grab the collar down a little bit more.
Mm.
All right, that's a long time.
Whoa. Whoa, I saw.
Olivia and I have been together for 16 years, bro. We were talking about that. We went on a date at Dante's.
Yeah. So did we.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm just your
what do you want to talk about, Bob?
I'm just your East Coast side bitch, huh? Damn.
No, you're not.
That's fucked, dude. Honestly, in the American League, because it was a juicy NL, earphones just fell off. I think Royals, Guard Dogs is the convo. I do want to know where you're at with your Twins, which normally that's the opposite of every episode. But you were laying it out before that you were like, the Twins don't feel so hot right now.
Well, they're hurt, man. They're just let's do Royals Guards first. Royals came in and handled the business. I know they don't win that last game. Guardians, I believe, won last night, so they gained a game on them as well. Or maybe the Royals lose. I don't know. Something happened last night that's not in this. So they're a game and a half up. But to cut the lead down like that, to go in and take 3 or 4, they already have the season series because they have only 3 games left. And I believe they're 7-3 against them this year. So Royals have the tiebreaker, which is huge now with winning these games. But it was, dude, I mean, Cole Reagans, I believe that he exited his start. That's a little scary, but I think it's okay. I think it was just cramping. Beebs, you got anything on that? You can check that for us, please. But it's like Bobby Witt. Hunter Gaddis comes in. Bobby Witt hits the freaking homer, the go-ahead homer against him. That's Kansas City Royals baseball. Next day, Sal Perez has 6 runs driven in, a freaking grand slam to kind of open the game up. That's Royals baseball. This is what they've been doing all season long, dude. Those guys. And then you have MJ Melendez having like a banger every year. Like he's really started getting hot as of late. He's got like a 900 OPS since June or something like that. I've mentioned the hitting with runners in scoring position. That's what they do. You know, it's Sal, it's Bobby Witt, and it's Vinny, top 5 in batting average with runners in scoring position this year. I mean, Vinny, does he have 100 runs driven in already? It's dang close if he hasn't.
Ooh,
I mean, this team is...
I think he was just short.
This team is good, man. And like you mentioned, the bullpen reinforcements that they've had, like, this is a statement series, Jake. Statement freaking series. I'm happy the Guardians won the last game. I really am. Because I feel like they've been, since the All-Star break, have not played great baseball. A lot of things are catching up to them. I highlighted something in this series on our sheet. I put an extra bold and extra green for you. This is crazy right here. The Guardians have led the AL Central since April 14th. They dropped to 0-8 in doubleheaders this season. 1-17 since 2023. The last team to lose 8 doubleheader games in a single season was the 2011 Twins that I was a part of. Thank you for that. But what's up with doubleheaders? is it the bullpen gets stretched too thin and Stephen Vogt has to decide when and where to use guys? Like it's that's a very interesting stat for me because we talked about, hey, usually you split doubleheaders, then I read you guys the stat where it's actually 50-50 sweeps or splits,
Mm,
which is kind of crazy.
right.
Um, but that's a telling stat for them. I don't know why. I don't know how it happened, but 0-8 in doubleheaders is pretty dang crazy.
I got nothing.
Weird, right?
I got nothing. Because even like bullpen stretched too thin, you need them for one winning game in theory. Yeah, I don't know.
17 and 12. I guess they're 18 and 21 since the break. That's what the Guardians are. So playing under 500 ball. You mentioned Paul DeYoung. Like he's been great since he went over to the Royals. He's been slugging. I think he's got 5 homers in however many games. Like, okay.
Playing a great third base too.
Yeah, that's to be expected from him, man. So they're kind of hitting their stride when they need to be.
Royals are 6-2 against the Guard Dogs this year. I think they have 5 more games left.
No, I think they're 7-3 and they only have 3 left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sheet said 6 and oh yeah, but that was after game 1. I'm I don't know. We've rightfully have had the Guardians etched into the playoff picture more or less as the central winner, and now I don't want to say there's questions on both sides because you'd either have to believe in the Red Sox or an AL miracle team, but I don't know. It's gonna be fun to see who wins the AL Central because I don't know. I hate to be, and this is obvious because it's the current standings, but like I think it's a toss up between the Royals. It's 40% Royals, 40% Guard Dogs, 10% Twins.
Twins need to get healthy quick. We'll touch on them, but I think Cleveland's for sure in the postseason. I think they have too much of a lead on like the Red Sox or somebody like that to come up and take a spot from them. They'd have to play really, really bad baseball. So they have some time to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
What happened, Braves Twins?
Braves are brazing. I don't know if
Really?
you know that. Yeah. Bailey Ober got absolutely shelled in his first start. I started combing over. I actually even put Jimmy on the case. I said, I think Bailey Ober's tipping. Do you want to do this with me? And we started looking. I haven't found anything. It's been the third time I've looked now and haven't found anything. So I think he's just kind of prone to some blow up starts, which is not great. Jimmy had some breathing stuff that I saw as well, but it was like not enough where I think you could sit on it. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe he is tipping pitches because he's had like 3 really, really poor starts where guys have just looked like they have been on every single pitch. That was the case with the Braves in that first game, man. They just came out and I believe, his line was 2 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, dude.
Mm.
And everything kind of happened when he was in the stretch. Whit Merrifield will get on.
Oh, okay.
And then it was like, so possibly something there. Jimmy and I started talking about, should we start just looking over pitchers, getting tips on them, and then selling them to teams, manipulating the standings in the big leagues, and then so eventually there's like a 30 for 30 on that.
I'm in.
You want to do it?
I'll be the salesman. And yeah, we'll just do it like series by series.
Is that like illegal? We're just outside service providing a service.
Yeah. No, I think we could contact. Hey, Phillies, you're playing the Twins today. We have a tip on Simeon Woods.
Bailey Ober. I'll give you Bailey Ober's tip.
Yeah. How much is that to you? Can you do it with individual
other
players?
Than that, I will say that bullpen is a question mark with the Twins right now. I think the Braves are doing what the Braves need to do. Like they're hitting, they looked good. Duran Duran coming in non-save situations has been really bad this year, like really, really bad. In save situations, been really, really good. So he enters the game in the 10th there, non-save situation, doesn't get the job done. And then Festa pitched pretty good, but our bullpen's so thin. There's 2 guys you trust right now in it, basically, maybe 3. It's Jax, Duran, and Cole Sands, and then everything else is it ain't good. So they need Correa, they need Buck, they need
Yeah,
these
you've been
guys
saying
back
it.
like big time, dude.
Sometimes you need the Jimmies and the Joes. Speaking of Joes, Trev, it was a juicy NL. I kind of good, kind of good.
Go Mariners, go. Keep going.
Make us
Randy had
talk
some
about
homers. It
you.
looked like Randy homers, dude. Like pitches, like sliders away, him going the other way, hitting a bomb. Like I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like if they can get going, I'm into it. They have some crazy record when they score over 5 runs. I think they're 44-2 or something like that. I think that's in the sheet.
Randy Arozarena at 20 steals. I think the over-under was 25.5. I forget if I locked that in, but we're going to have to check in on those in one of these Wednesdays coming up. Mariners.
I don't know. I went somewhere and saw that they were like 44 and something when they score 5 runs.
Yeah. 44-0 is my guess.
Let's go.
Like
score 5 runs.
That's the whole damn
Detroit's
thing.
getting hot. Let's go, Detroit. Like that for you. Spencer Torkelson hitting fastballs. It's a big development. A little too late, probably, but yeah.
Trev, if we owned a sports book or DraftKings hit us up, they hit up our advisory firm. They heard we were picking up tips on pitches. If we had to make a line on a team, not any team, open board, a team not currently in the playoffs to make the playoffs, what would the juice on it be?
Any team.
Any
that's
team.
currently not. So right now
Red
we're
Sox,
talking closest is
Mets,
Red Sox 3.5
Cubs.
or Mets 3.
Right. Tigers go nuts in September.
Plus
Jesus was a carpenter.
It'd be up there. They don't juice bets like that too much. It's plus 2 something.
Okay, I would have been higher. I was
plus 220.
In my head, I was like plus 400. I just don't see it, and I want the baseball gods to kick in.
I can't do math like this, but right now
Okay.
Boston has a 13% chance to make the playoffs, according to Baseball Reference, and the Mets have a 22.8% chance to make the playoffs. I don't know what that means as far as math and juice. No clue.
Comment below. And when you're commenting, or maybe you're listening to this, maybe you're listening on a pair of Turtle Beaches. Trev, I don't even know if you know about Turtle Beach. They are the #1 gaming headset.
What?
Yes. I was pretty hype. This is real deal stuff. This is Dood, D-O-O-D. Turtle Beaches, the new Gen 3 Stealth 600 headset. Whether you're playing, for a lot of the, I was going to say Warzone-y type games, every footstep, every reload, if you need to be in the action, talking, listening, these are the guys. These are the 1-1. I couldn't believe that we partnered with them. Turtle Beach, if you're listening, changing mag. Every reload, this is the headset for you. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today for limited time only. Head to turtlebeach.com. Use code TALKIN, 10% off your entire order. It's 10% off your order at turtlebeach.com with promo code TALKIN. There's a link in the description. My life for hire. Do you ever stand out performances?
I love the name Turtle Beach.
Yeah, right? It's kind of like you and me combined.
I don't know what that means. I do. I might stand out performance. I am going to go with a guy who we didn't talk about too much, but he's been going strong. First of all, Will Smith is on the Royals. You know what's happened the last 3 years. He's been on the World Series team. Royals all of a sudden going from 106 losses to this. Okay, Will Smith. I'm going with Spencer Arrighetti. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 11 Ks. It's been like him and Paul Skeens for Ks per 9 going on here for quite some time. He's really turned his season around. It's exactly what Houston has ordered. This guy is only 24 years old. when you get stuff like this, it's like the Houston Astros become so scary. You mentioned the depth in their pitching now. He's had a few blow up starts here. If you go back to July 7th, coach, a little bit of butter knifing for me right here. 2.77 ERA, 71 Ks, and 55 and a third innings pitched. Like that's exactly what you're looking for. If you're the Houston Astros, a guy that can come and strike guys out, give you those types of starts. He had a rough start to the year. I mentioned some blow up starts. He had a rough start to the year, but coming on at this point of the season, who cares about the beginning of the season? That's how I look at it. So this guy's, we've mentioned him a few times on the show. Everyone kind of knows 10.9 strikeouts per nine. He's a difference maker for them down the stretch.
Man, we've been talking about him a lot lately. It seems like on this October path, and we've seen Houston every October for a lot of games like we've talked about, you can almost go through the years of like, the changes each year to Houston, and it feels like this year Spencer Arrighetti, I like Framber coming on the scene for them, and it was like, wait, who's this guy? Lance McCullers Jr. coming on the scene for them. It feels like Arrighetti is a full-blown breakout, and if he keeps this going into the postseason, he'll be a massive part of at least the American League postseason story.
First start of the year, 3 innings pitched, 7 earned runs. Okay, that's not a great way to start. He's got a 1 1/3 inning pitch with 7 earned runs. He also has a 4 innings pitch with 6 earned runs. Like those are the types of starts that are going to mess up with your ERA. He's got a 4.63 on the year, but getting better and getting more consistent as the year goes on.
It's a great standout, Trev. Put
it this way. Here's another butter knife for you.
Give me another
quick on Arrighetti.
While you're there.
Last 2 starts are at Baltimore, at Philadelphia. He's gone 13 2/3 innings pitched, only 5 hits, no runs, 15 Ks. That gets the juices flowing. A little bit of lead in your pencil. I know that.
Trev, I struggled with my standout. At first, I highlighted Lawrence Butler, and I was going to give you some love because you gave L. Butt an award that, like, it happened, and I was like, okay, Trev's hyping up a guy that's been nice to us, and I like that. Oh, my God, another 3-homer game, and I said another there. And that last one, he, like, screamed into the void and let everyone know what happened. Oh, my. JJ Bleday, his partner in crime in that young A's outfield, 2025. 5-hit day. Yordan Alvarez. I feel like we haven't talked about him enough. He has a 3-homer day. Go check out where his stats are. The same exact place they always are.
Yes.
It's insane how consistently incredible this guy is. And I've bailed on all of them.
I was thinking, who's your standout?
I've bailed because we were a little quick on the Brewers. I'm going to the Civ. I'm going Aaron Civale. 7 shut piece. In his 9 starts with Milwaukee now. How is that possible? One of those pre-trade deadline guys that we always talk about, and we always say how much more of an impact that can make. 9 starts, 48 innings. He has a 3.72 ERA after having a 5.07 with the Rays, a little Rays devil magic. If whatever you believe in the Brewers, and, playoffs are a crapshoot. We could do the whole song and dance, et cetera, et cetera. You need bodies, and the more bodies you have, the more chances you have to be good. And Aaron Civale right now, the last 4 starts, he is 3-0. The team is 4-0 in them. That's 23.1 innings to a 1.93 ERA for Aaron Civale, one of the guys locking down Milwaukee's rotation. And again, how about us talking playoff starts right now? Because Aaron Civale will be starting a playoff game.
Hit the passing button.
Uh-oh. Passing.
It's not a good passing button. Vinny Pasquantino out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken thumb.
It's a tough one, man.
Damn, man.
You see that reaction live, and you're like, God. I hope the story can become, if the Royals can win the division and that gives them an extra 3-4 days before their playoff game. I don't know. You don't want to put that on anyone, but that is that's brutal.
It is brutal. Is Lucas Ursich okay?
I can't do a sad Royals show right now.
Well, we're getting them up. Now we're getting word early on in the morning. 42 minutes ago it came out about Vinny Pasquantino.
Trev, we got to save this show.
Jeez, man.
Because we could have talked about a lot of guys. Your guy Nathan Eovaldi ended up on here.
Manny Machado.
Christian Betton.
I can't do any more Padres. You got mad at me last
Zeke
episode.
Tovar. I don't know. A couple guys on the Nats. Dylan Cruz. Trev, let's do the best part of the show.
Dirt nasties on fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Need some Coronas.
I'm still sad about Vinny. I'm sorry. But I will get hyped up for the Corona Extra in Fuego series. We'll get to the Corona Extra in Fuego player of the ep. We're going to start out with our guy, Elbutt, who you mentioned is just absolutely going off for the series. He had 5 homers, 7 for 14, 5 homers. How you feeling? That's why you're screaming, bro. It's good, Jake. Don't you scream when it feels good? 8 runs driven in. He became the second A's player with a pair of 3 homer games in a season, joining Geronimo Barroa, who did it in 1996. I remember Geronimo Barroa.
Yeah. It's a very memorable name, to be fair.
In 96, I was like pretty into baseball. 10, got into then it was like Mark McGuire and that whole thing in 98. He's the 25th player to record a pair of 3 homer games in a season. That's a small list. Okay. He's the 3rd player, age 24 or younger, to do it, joining Mookie Betts and Ralph Kiner. It's pretty good. Go, Elbutt, go. Attaboy. We mentioned this guy with the Mariners, Randy Arozarena. Went 5 for 11, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in. He's had 3 homers with the Mariners since they acquired him from Tampa Bay. 2 of those 3 homers came against his former team. That's always fun. I mentioned the swing's looking good. Can he be enough? We'll see. Paul Goldschmidt, big homer. 8 for 14, a double, a homer, 5 runs driven in against San Diego. In the week, date your daughter, Matt Olson, 10 for 29, 5 doubles, 4 homers, 12 runs driven in. Gross. A lot of them against my Twins. He looked really good. Kyle Stowers of Miami, 9 for 22, 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, 7 runs driven in for the week. I mentioned Manny Machado, 10 for 29 in the week. He's been crushing it, man. 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 runs driven in. He did his 9th homer in his last 29 games and is now just 4 homers away from being the Padres' franchise leader in career homers. Huh? When I was down there, I was talking to him, and he was like, I tell people I get the best places to live. I go to Miami in the off season. I live in San Diego during the season. He goes, what's not to love about that? So if you're in San Diego, it's a big San Diego pod.
Didn't mention Baltimore in there?
He didn't mention Baltimore in there, no. Patrick Corbin. How about him? For the 2 weeks.
Playing Pat, what up?
Started 16 and a third innings pitched, only 3 earned runs, 16 Ks. He recorded his first outing, allowing 2 hits or fewer since August 10th, 2023. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less in his last 3 starts. It's the first time he's had 3 consecutive starts allowing those 2 earned runs or less since May 4th through May 20th, 2023. And how about my guy, San Francisco Giants closer, Ryan Walker. He took it over for Camilo Doval. Possibly more on him later. 5 games, 3 saves, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 16 Ks in those 7 innings, Jake. He's done a good job. Real cross-body guy, too.
Yeah.
What's up with cross-body guys?
Well, I've been waiting for one of them to have this level of success because I feel like the cross-body guys, I don't know if there was a shelf life or it's if you saw them a couple times because I think their stuff is so drastic that there's almost not deception. But But he's been so good that I don't know. He's the case study.
Love that. Great analysis, actually, Jake. I'm pretty impressed with that. Okay.
Thank you.
And now for the Corona Extra Player of the Ep. And this is your guy.
Yeah.
Kind of my guy. 818 stand up. Pete Crow Armstrong. PCA in the last 2 weeks, 15 for 39. That's a 385 average. 2 doubles, 3 homers, 10 runs driven in, 12 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. During the series, Jake, versus the Pirates, he had multiple 3-hit games, stole 3+ bases in a game, scored 4+ runs in a game. No other MLB rookie has done all 3 in a single series in the modern era. That's since 1901. He had a career high 4 hits on Wednesday. He's running all over the field. He's crazy good defensively in center field. I'm excited for him to get his sea legs under him, if you will. Like, obviously, this is a nice stretch of games for him.
Yeah.
But once this guy gets the sea legs under him and understands Major League pitching a little bit better, like, this guy's going to be a premier player.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's
got that. He's got that mentality where he's going to work to get better.
Yes.
He knows. Just go look at his off-season workout videos. He's like at like a jail yard. It's weird. It's weird. Happy for him though.
He has that and I talked about this a while ago, Cole Tucker's wedding flex. But he has the young guy respect that goes a long way with the olds. Like, I'm gonna work, like, yes, my blue hair, I could understand how you think, but like I'm gonna prove that I'm here to work and get better, and I don't want like a leg up. Like, that's not him. Like, he wants the grind, which I know you love that.
100 percentile in sprint speed too. Let's go.
Oops. 14 seconds around the
Let me
bases,
ask you this. I'm
Trev?
trying to think like the hottest area code
Oh.
like for baseball. Like a lot of people point 305, man. This is what they do. They go,
Oh God.
that's 305. I'm an 818er. 818's got a chance there.
818 Detroit Avenue.
Jack Flaherty, Max Fried,
You're done.
Pete Crow Armstrong, Giancarlo Stanton, Trevor Plouffe.
PCA was your Corona Extra player?
Yes, he was.
Because he is extra. And so is Corona. Grab yourself a Corona Extra at the game, watching the game, at home. I might have a Corona Extra today. I'm actually a little teaser. Me and Joe's McFly are doing a little fun Corona Extra thing today. So, everyone who loves the game beyond the scoreboard, Corona, the fans who never lose. I like that. Get yours at ordercorona.com. 21 plus. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra beer. PCA, our guy. Love that.
Yes.
I don't love the IL. But I, for some reason, do this on the program. Placed on the IL, it's a monster list. What? The Joey Bart breakout that happened. Xavier Edwards, Slapdick, Ryan Mountcastle, Bachelorette Buddy. Jesus, Will Smith wins the World Series every year. That's reliever Will Smith. Jordan Hicks to the IL, Nick Lodolo, Julian Merriweather from opening day 2021 fame. Robbie Rai, Miguel Andujar. What is this? This part of the show stinks. I'm canceling.
Mike Lorenzen. The Royals got banged up,
canceling.
bro.
Stuart Fairchild's gotten to every ball ever hit in the outfield. That's what I've seen. Is that Bob Does Sports?
Say Jonah Doan.
Jonah Doan. Yeah, I know Jonah Doan. Returning from the IL, this is a list we tend to like. Jared Jones, friend of the program. Get him a couple more innings for next year's Pirates. J.P. Crawford, thank God. Maybe I'm back in on the Mariners. J.P. Crawford's back. Dan Wilson. Ryan Presley. He's back. You'll see him winning the World Series this year. Nick Gonzalez. Austin Barnes, sure. Which brings us to... Awards are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Football season is here. There was some college action last night. I watched a little bit. Might have won a bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook. when Colorado threw that interception, the lines changed, and I was like, they're still going to win this game. I mean, come on. $5 bet. Instantly, you'll get $250 in bonus bets, plus 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Sundays are about to change, people. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code Talkin. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Talkin, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Awards, Trev, what do you got?
So I'm going to keep it short and sweet because people are like, you talk too long. Look at Jake's face. He can't stand it when you go long in these awards. Whatever, dude. That's my speech. You're going to make fun of my speech? I've always been that way. I talk for a living apparently now, which is crazy to think about. I don't have a name for this one. Short and sweet award. We had a guy who has been absolutely dominant. I'm talking about, Jake, do you like an ERA plus of, 139, 156, 143? Do you like guys that lead the league in saves or games finished? Do you like that?
I like that.
Do you like guys that like play catch in like a corridor and just throw absolute missiles?
No, I actually hate that. You do that to me, and it's a nightmare. I haven't played catch in 6 months, and you're throwing.
Well, sometimes in the Dominican it rains and you have nowhere to throw. You just throw it in like a hallway, and you're an elite closer with the San Francisco Giants, and your name is Camilo Doval. Now, this year, Jake, it hasn't been great for him. So much that he ended up getting sent down this year to AAA. But luckily for him, that only lasted 15 days. So he gets sent down August 8th, he blew a save, gave up 3 runs against the Washington Nationals. Then August 24th, he gets the call. And not only does he get the call, he gets thrown right back into the fire. Not in a save situation because Ryan Walker is there doing his thing. But he does come in, throws an inning in the third, gets out of 1 inning. He walked a guy, end up getting out of that inning, then striking out 2 the next against Seattle. So he gets the hold there, and then comes back at Milwaukee and goes an inning pitch, only 1 hit, kind of skirts through some trouble, ends up striking out 2, but gets the win in that game against a pesky freaking Milwaukee team. So comes back and, is finding himself. The cutter hasn't been cutting. People have been hitting that more as of late. The rest of the numbers are kind of the same. It's interesting, but that's been the big outlier for me. The cutter last year had an 8-run value with him, a 0-run value this year. Guys hit 175 against it last year, hitting 288 against it this year. So, the cutter ain't been cutting for him. You got to figure that out. But I like this part of the story. This is why I gave the award. When he was down there in the bushes for 15 days, do you know who he came across?
Who did he come across, Trev?
Former teammate, a guy that took him under his wing, Johnny Cueto. Now, Johnny Cueto came and pitched for the Angels.
Yeah.
But he was in AAA during this time and had some kind words for Camilo, said, trust your stuff. You know who you are. And sometimes, Jake, you need someone to tell you that. And it has to be someone that you respect and someone that can, actually have an impact on you. Johnny Cueto is that guy for a lot of guys, but especially for Camilo Doval. So I'm happy to see him go down, take his medicine, come back up, and have, some success early on. We'll see what happens, at the end of the year here for him, where he starts to pitch. Is he going to continue to be 7th, 8th inning guy? I don't know. But this guy has been so electric and from all accounts, just a great guy. So I just wanted to give him snaps. I love the Johnny Cueto aspect of it. So that's my short and sweet award. Goes to Camilo Doval. Love you, bro. You got it.
Nice. My guy, maybe he's becoming your guy. I don't know.
JP Martinez, both our guy.
In that I kind of got lost in a Ryan Walker wormhole that I want to get to the bottom of that. He's like 50-50 sinker slider. Yeah, I mean, the fact that a guy like Camilo Doval can have a bad season is mind-blowing. And this is a little bit of Yankee bullshit, but just like a bonus side clap again for Mariano Rivera for being that good every year. It just kind of doesn't make sense. He threw 1 pitch. Anyways, let's go Doval. Giants, come sneak up on us. I had I don't want to say it was a cop-out award. I was going to give snaps to the Cubbies again because they've been so great. and basically saying, if you're ever going to snap for the Cubbies, go snap for these Mets, dude. I can't believe what they did in this 3-game stretch. The award was going to be like IG model's friend. There's an IG model, you're falling for them. They're getting hot in the streets right now. But their friend has sneaky been killing it. You like them a little more. The friend was going to be the Mets. The IG model was going to be the Cub. I don't care. One of you guys get involved in the season. BBD, tell me you have the stimulator music, because it's about that time, people.
What?
Oh! Oh! It's too sexy. BBD, you have the supercomputer, the stimulator. It's been on ice all year. Watched Transformers last night. Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. In the American League, Trevor Plouffe's Minnesota Twins would be visiting my Houston Astros.
Astros season doesn't end that early.
The Astros move on, according to the machine. The Royals and Orioles, Bobby Witt, Gunnar Henderson in Baltimore.
Orioles.
Yeah, that Vinny news. I knew the machine wouldn't like that. That means the Houston Astros would visit the Cleveland Guardians in the ALDS.
Astros season starts next round.
Astros somehow survive the Guardians. The New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles for 5, computer.
Yanks.
Yeah. We're going to come back to that. In the National League, the Braves, the Hank Aaron Bowl, are heading to Milwaukee for 3.
Braves are bravesing.
Oh, God.
Braves are bravesing.
For Milwaukee to end like that. And then the series that we've been teeing up for a while. Right now, San Diego would head to Arizona for 3 games.
The Snakes.
Wow. The
They're
computer.
alive.
The computer was feeling that one. That means the Phillies and the Braves, part 3. Wow.
Go Phillies.
Wow, that is not going to sit well in Atlanta. The Dodgers and the Snakes, we're running it back.
Snakes.
Oh.
That means your final 4, Yankees, Astros. Wow. Yankees, Astros, Phillies, Snakes. Who will we be seeing in the World Series, Stimulator?
Astros and Snakes.
Oh my God, as Jose Iglesias would say. The Snakes are back. So are the Astros. Your World Series winner is
Houston.
Oh.
wow. Dynasty. We're going to have to keep stimulating every Friday the rest of the way. Thank you guys.
R.I.P. our merch sales.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Labor Day? Question mark? I think we're still going to see you Monday because we're different.
I think we're working on
Sucks.
Labor Day. What's up with that?
It's a day for laboring.
Chris Rose has got some stuff coming out on Labor Day that you're not going to want to miss.
Oh, my.
Do you guys know?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, man. So good.